name is Dr. Rose Misati. I'm a public health specialist, behavior change expert, certified life coach, relationships counselor, and parenting coach. I'm a director of Effective Parenting Company Limited. We help people deal with their past hurt so that they can learn to manage their feelings, handle conflict, clarify life goals as they lead, so that they can lead effective lives as they enjoy fulfilling relationships. What causes individuals to respond differently to a traumatic event? Human beings are different. We have a lot of different personality dynamics, and so we are likely to respond. In fact, many times people respond differently to the same traumatic event. Going back to the story that I shared on a family with 4 children, and maybe one has taken the fight response, another one flight response, another one freeze, another one fawn response. Sometimes actually an individual can even adapt 2 or 3 of those responses. So what causes the differences? The differences can be caused by many factors. I will share a few factors that may influence how one responds to trauma. So one of the factors is the birth position. Children born at different positions in the family respond differently. So an example that I can give that many people relate with, I can relate with it even in my own family, is whereby the firstborn, usually there's an expectation, or they are socialized to be very responsible, very hardworking. They are the born leaders. They are the leaders of the home. So the most likely response, it's just a likelihood, response of a firstborn to trauma will be the fight response. So they will fight to survive, they will be hardworking, they'll be very aggressive because they are out to protect their siblings. Then the second-born or the middle child would have a middle child syndrome. The middle child syndrome, usually, they are empathetic, they feel, they are deep thinkers, they are introverts. In fact, somebody describes middle children as the Picasso. You know, the Picasso, the artist. These are the artists. And so you will find the middle child, they tend to absorb things very deeply. So whatever happens to them, they feel it. They are very empathetic. So this child is most likely going to have a response that is flight, a flight response, where they are overanalyzed to the point where they have what we call analysis paralysis. You know, they overanalyze things, they are overcritical, they are critical thinkers. So we are likely to have the middle child having flight response. And then lastborns normally, they are the baby of the house. So you will find the lastborns, they cope by fleeing. You know, they will flee into something, maybe screen, maybe they may be addicted to screen, they may be addicted to drugs or to alcohol because they want to escape a painful reality. And many times this makes sense because you will find the older ones, they have already taken over responsibilities. So lastborns, usually, they are not expected to do so much. So they respond that way. Alternatively, you can have them having the fawn response because they have to cope. You know, maybe they are being taken care of, we are paying school fees for you, we are doing all this. So you find even the identity is merged with the identity of the siblings. So the lastborn may exhibit the fawn response. Those are just examples to demonstrate that the birth position will affect the way an individual responds to trauma. The other one is that it depends on the family situation at that point, okay? What do I mean by the family situation? I mean that when trauma is being perpetuated by parents, you will find by the time they have a firstborn, most parents would actually be very hard, very controlling on a firstborn. But by the time they are getting the other children, you find they have mellowed. So again, children will respond differently to the same abusive parent based on the way, at that point, the way the parent was responding to them. Now, the other one is on the social support. Remember again to our story of the 4 children. These 4 children will go to school. They will be in different classes. They will have different teachers. Research has shown that one of the game changers to trauma response is having a safe, stable, nurturing, and trustworthy caregiver. It can be a teacher, it can be anybody. So these children will go to school. Some of them may have teachers who hear them, who see them, who feel them. And because they have this buffer in the form of a teacher, they are going to cope better to the traumatic events. So this is another likelihood of why individuals would respond differently. Now the other one is character. You know, the personality types. If somebody is choleric, that is the born leader, they are likely to respond by fight. If somebody is a choleric. If somebody is melancholic, the thinkers, the critical analysts, they are likely to respond by flight. If somebody is a phlegmatic, they are likely to respond by freeze. Because a phlegmatic generally is a fence sitter. So they are likely to respond this way, or even to respond by a phone response. So this again depends on the personality of the particular individual. So what are we saying? What we are saying is that nobody's trauma should be invalidated. Everybody should be able to share their story. They should be listened to. You cannot put individuals in a box and then you say, because you all went through this, you are expected to behave in this way. We need to listen and support an individual based on where they are at and the way they responded to this particular traumatic event. In case you notice that you need help, you may have gone through a traumatic experience, or as I have spoken, you feel you can identify with some of the things. Leave the comment below. We will get back to you. Please feel free to share this video to other people so that it can help. Sharing is caring. Let's have a healed community. That way we can enjoy healthy and fulfilling relationships with everybody. I normally say, I'm not okay until the other person is okay. So even if you're okay and the other person is not okay, we are not okay. So please leave a comment. We will get back to you. We will be glad to be of help to you.